Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. This is the first Monday of April, the first Monday that we're back in April. And you know, Mr. Evans got all the Mondays covered this month in the month of April. So let's buckle up, get your notepads out, your cordanos, your lapis, your plumas, and let's go to school. There you go, Miss Jackie Black. Yeah, that girl speaks Spanish fluently. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Summersville, South Carolina, doing a fantastic job. He's got a few people not too far away from some promotions out here, and he's putting them in every week. So without further ado, can we give a warm welcome to none other than the great Mr. Regional Director, Mr. Curtis Evans.
My name is Curtis Evans. I'm from Summerville, South Carolina. I think most of you know me. Um, One of the things that I remember from way back in the day, and Al got me going back there, was when we had our then owner of the company, Kenny Trout, on stage, and he was up there with his wife. And there's this big old question that was always looming, and even in this business, maybe do you work for the residual income or do you work for the bonus money? It's a big question. A lot of people say work for the residual, and that's right. This is a residual company, so you can get all the customers you want and get residual on them every month. In fact, you can earn up to 20% on the residual side. So 20% of the commissionable part. So there's more money than the law allows. But what in a business like this, you're going to get as many customers as you possibly can. You can't get too many of them. But at some point you're going to run out of gas. I mean, you're just going to run out of gas at some point. It might be a year, 2 years, whatever. Your goal is to get customers. And to get customers you don't know, typically you need to bring in IBOs. So let's think about this. The reason they have this thing called IBOs, independent business owners, is because if any of you signed me up as an independent business owner, the first person that I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 3 customers. And my 3 customers are who? Me. Okay? I'm going to get 3 customers. And if my 3 customers equal 8 points, now I'm going to get a check for $400. Now, if I can do that by Wednesday at lunchtime, if I came in on Monday and I did that by Wednesday at lunchtime, guess what I got this Friday on my own services? $400. Now, you guys, sometimes we've been around the block and we've seen so many promotions and all. Sometimes we just forget the gravity of it. So typically, I want to ask you a question. How much money does it cost to get started? Nothing. It really, think about it. It doesn't cost anything to get started. If Mr. Thomas signed me up today and I got my IBO number and I signed up, I want this, this, and this, and they equal 8 points, then Friday, the same week, I have what? $400. And if I got 6 of them, three more services, I got a $600 bonus. Now, a lot of people do Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, different things, gigs. This is gig economy. And that's why the company turned this direction toward a gig economy, because people are doing things for gig. Now, after the first month, let's say I got 6 services in that month and I got 16 points, I earned $1,000. Now, you guys, I'm going to tell you, in multi-level marketing or anything, to make $1,000, you was a salesman. You were selling stuff, okay? You weren't just sharing stuff. You were actually selling stuff. So our company has to figure out a way so that a new man coming in will have a story. What's his first story? I've been in 2 weeks and I got $1,000. I've been in 3 weeks and I got $1,000. The more stories you got coming up like that in your business, and ACN has in its business, that's going to be a big deal. Typically, you got to sell a lot of makeup to make $1,000. You got to sell a lot of vitamins to make $1,000. I'm talking about clear, okay? So our company says 6 services. Now, that's after the first month. In the past, Mr. Thomas knows, and everybody on here knows, in the past, that $1,000 that you made the first month was just a promotion for the new IBOs for the what? First month. And there's be another promotion next month, and we'll see what that is. Now, this is a regular part of our compensation plan. That means the next month, if you're driving an Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash, or whatever you're doing out there, working for Amazon or whatever, you have to buy a car. You have to put gas in the car. You have to put tires on the car. You got to have insurance on the car so that you can go out there and make that $1,000, okay? Here, what do you have to do? You have to have $30. Instead of buying gas, $30, you got $30. For $30, this is gig economy. You're in the business, $30. You went and got 3 customers the next month, and guess what you got? $400. You got $400 for what kind of investment? $30. So think like a business person. If you got the $30 investment you made the second month or the third month, you needed $1,000. You went and put in 6 services, and you made a what? $1,000. And you're still what? As Mr. Thomas mentioned a minute ago, you're still recruiting. And what I'm trying to say here, as I see it, standing back looking in, the company is changing. It's evolving. Okay? They could have kept the same. Now, when we started up years and years and years and years and years ago, you could come into a company, I think the one that Al and I were in, you put in 20 customers. You had to have 3 reps and 20 customers. You got your 20 customers in there. You didn't get paid nothing to get those 20 customers. You just need to get 20 customers. Okay, now 3 customers and you get what? $400. 6 customers and you made $1,000. So for the person that's building residual in your organization, make sure they understand if they're not onto the recruiting side, and I think they should be, but if they're not in the recruiting side, they just simply put in customers, they can make money every month. So everybody on this call, your goal is to get 3 customers this month. If you don't do nothing else, get how many? 3 customers this month. They equal 8 points, so you have 400 and keep you going. Now, I want to talk about that because sometimes, we just get used to things. We think that's just normal. This is not normal. I want to tell you about how this company has evolved over the last few years.
What does it take for a company to stay relevant for more than 3 decades? It takes recognizing trends before they happen and offering an opportunity at exactly the right moment. This story goes back 33 years. Who remembers long-distance phone service? Calling across the country, hearing someone's voice hundreds of miles away. Back then, it was a game changer, just as ACN knew it would be. We were one of the few companies that built a massive business around long distance before anyone thought it could be profitable. Then came pagers, remember those? Clipped to your belt, suddenly you were reachable anytime, anywhere. For its time, it was revolutionary. ACN saw the opportunity there too. And before everyone had a mobile phone, ACN started offering cellular service, connecting people on the go when most phones were still attached to a wall. Do you remember a time before the internet was everywhere? ACN was part of that transition, bringing worldwide connectivity into homes and businesses. When gas and electricity were deregulated, ACN was one of the first companies to recognize the potential of this essential industry. Millions of customers followed, establishing a pattern that would make ACN the leading direct seller of essential services. Time and again, we were on the cutting edge, identifying industry trends and delivering the essential services that people and businesses rely on. For 33 years, ACN hasn't followed trends. We've built a life-changing opportunity around them. In 2026, with a proven track record of millions of customers and billions of dollars in sales, ACN is in the perfect position to capitalize on a massive and rapidly growing industry. Introducing ACN's new next, Fintech, Financial Technology. Today, over $16.6 trillion is being held in deposits and savings accounts in the US, and people want a streamlined, convenient way to manage that money at their fingertips. This year, ACN will leverage that demand and launch a mobile-first service built around everyday financial activity, offering digital checking and savings, delivered through an intuitive app, designed for how people are already saving, accessing, and using money every day, generating residual income for our IBOs with every tap, swipe, and online purchase, and through interest earned on balances. ACN has built a 33-year legacy on recognizing big opportunities. And now, we believe that FinTech is set to be the biggest thing we've ever done.
So y'all see how big the financial industry is. Remember, and the reason it's bigger than electricity and gas is because what? Why would it be bigger than electricity and gas? Well, we're in 19 states. We have 50 states in the United States. We have 50 states, and we are open for electricity and gas in how many? 19 of them. That means it's 31 of them that we're not involved with, okay? I live in one of them. You got to get these jacklegs up in Columbia, South Carolina to change that, but they're not going to change it. For whatever reason, they're not going to change it. But the banking is in what? All 50 states, Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. That's why it's so big. It's going to be a big thing for all of us. So I want you to just keep that in mind. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited about the fintech, especially if they understood the power of it. Not getting paid when somebody turn on their lights and gas, which is great. When they use their cell phone, it's great. I like that candy bar they bought. I like those jeans they bought. You know, I like the tires they put on their car. I like getting paid when they use that debit card. And that's going to fly. Now, we have banks like that already started, like Chime and some others, but they don't have the multi-level marketing aspect. They're not, if somebody got a Chime card, they're not trying to get some more people with a Chime card, put it that way. If I got a Chime card, Mr. Thomas has a Chime card, he's not trying to get everybody with a Chime card. But in multi-level marketing, when they come into our business, guess what? That's one of the services. So that's a big deal. So the world as we know it is going to change. I got one more video I'm going to show and I'll be finished. I want everybody to understand the power of what's going to happen in September, okay? It's just going to be a really big thing. And for once in my life, I'm ahead of it. Now, Mr. Thomas can answer this question later, but he was one of the few people, now he's probably saying, what is he about to say about me now? He's one of the few people that were in Excel very early. He was in Excel very early. He'll tell us what year. It started in 1989, but back then, the way they got it going was they put newspapers all over the United States, and they said, we're looking for public speakers. They didn't say what they were looking for. But the technology at the time, if you want to get to people all over the United States in 1989, 1990, 91, you had to put an ad in the newspaper. That's the only way you could do it. And everybody read the newspaper. They were looking there, and the ad says, Pat Hintz and I went racing in Minnesota one time at a track. It's a long story. Pat and another guy, I can't remember. And Pat told me, he said, he was walking the plant selling newspapers, selling paper to a plant. And this guy ran up to him and said, would you like to make some real money? And Pat said, the guy was running a machine, he had grease all over him. And the guy said, you want to make some real money? And he said, what is it about? And the guy gave Pat a bad copy of a bad copy of a bad copy of something. He went home and showed it to his buddy Steve Schultz. And Steve Schultz and him looked at it. He went back and asked the guy, have you made it yet? The guy said, I'm not in yet. He said, what about the guy that signed you up? He said, he hasn't made no money yet. He said, what about the guy that signed him up? He said, he hasn't made any money. He said, tell them we're in. We're ready to go. So what I'm saying is that came from a newspaper ad. That was the technology at the time. That was the technology. Now we got people, Al has people all over the country right now on this Zoom call through the internet, and we're talking about going into banking. We weren't in front of anything. So now you're in front of the banking. You're in front of it. And you're in front of this next thing I'm about to show you. And
how's it going to change the way we all work?
How we work. So what we're starting to see in the data in the short term is, yes, a lot of the jobs that we see and recognize today may either disappear or become unrecognizable.
Explain that to me.
So name a job that isn't some high-level category, and it might not exist. The idea of a brand manager or a financial analyst, these are the types of roles that AI is being trained to do. We're also likely to see the rise of much more of a skills-based economy. So you don't really hold a job title, but you offer your skills. But over the longer term, we're going to have an economy that rearranges around intelligence being abundant. So right now we have an economy where the internet communication distribution is abundant. And then we saw the rise of podcasting and people making money filming 90-second videos in a car. What happens on the other end of this economy is going to be quite unpredictable. What we call work may be as strange as the idea of filming these videos and making money off of it. There will be a new scarcity, but what the shape of that looks like is really uncertain. But we can say most of the jobs we see today will either go away or be radically transformed by this technology.
And so what? You're going to just end up with a world of entrepreneurs.
Most of us will be entrepreneurs, whether we consider ourselves entrepreneurs or not. You become this organization where you offer your skills to a variety of different types of projects. And that continues to change because AI isn't a one-trick pony. It continues to learn new skills over time. So we will continually go back to the drawing board and have to either upgrade our skills or move along and apply them to different types of projects. And that's going to be the dominant structure of what we would call the workforce. So this era of this kind of steady knowledge work, and you see this career path going upwards, that is going to be a chapter of human history. And we're entering into a new one. And so the challenge is going to be, this transition period going from now to the other side of this. What does that look like? How do we keep power in check? And how are these new benefits and all the productivity and prosperity, how is that being shared? And those questions have massively been unanswered.
Okay. Did everybody hear that? Okay. It's going to lean toward the new economy, the new AI. The AI is coming out. It's going to lean toward what? Entrepreneurship. What if everybody on this call today, everybody, all 29 people on this call are all entrepreneurs? The company put us in front of AI. In fact, they have a module, and I think most of you already seen it. I used it last week. Darlene and I, we just into this like crazy. If I was going to send Al, Mr. Thomas, invitation to take a look at our business, I go to acn.ai. Y'all seen this, and then I tell AI something about Al. Roughly how old he is, his hobbies. I need to know just a couple of things. I click. AI knows about Al, and then it makes up a video. It makes up everything for Al. It's a presentation for him, a closing for him. Everything's made for him. So when Al opens his email or opens his text up, he'll see a video that has more to do with Al and our business than just the video. Just the video. Now, isn't that crazy? He likes to fish. He likes to travel. He likes sushi. He likes coffee. He likes those are you click those things off, and then you'll send it to him. And is he more interested in that or just a flat old video for everybody? No, something that woke him up. He saw it. So those are the things that's happening in the future. You need to stay really close. Most companies by now, the guys would have made their money and they're gone. Al knows this. Mr. Thomas knows most people that run network marketing companies. They make their money and they're gone. Okay, 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, they're gone. Our company's been around 34 years. And so we're in a very, very special space. But this time, you weren't around when ACN started. You were around before AI and you were around before banking. Okay? You were around before AI and you're around before banking. And thanks to Mr. Thomas, you were trained before all that. You didn't come along trying to, you were trained before all that happened. So that takes care of my part for the day. I want to turn the floor back over to Mr. Thomas. Thank you.